The next thing I'd like to do is just a little bit more detail on the bird. I was going to do some strokes on him, and I'm just going to do those in the red mix that we use. These are just going to be some simple little strokes. I'm going to do one, a little comma stroke, one on each tail feather, just right down the middle. And then I'll do just a couple on his wing. So I'm going to start kind of here to the back of the wing, and swing that stroke around and curve it up to the front. And these are little comma strokes where you press down a little harder when you first lay the brush down, and then lift as you come around, and you'll come up to like a fine point. So I'm going to just gives him a little more detail. I'll zoom the camera down so you can see that. There's the bird. You can see the 3 little strokes, and I've done a single little stroke in each of the tail feathers. And you can see a little close-up of the dry brushing on the hat and mittens. There's, this mitten over here. So at this point, you can just kind of stop and look at your overall painting and decide whether you think you have enough darks and lights. If you've lost some of your shading in between the sections of the snowman, you can always go back and float a little bit more black or your dark blue where the shadows go to redefine those. Or if you feel like you need stronger highlights, just continue adding a little more layers of the white over top. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of a highlight down the side of the tree trunk. It's mostly raw sienna with a little bit of the raw umber, kind of the yellow, but I think it might look good if we add just a little stroke of white down that side. There's a little bit of the trunk here as it comes through the hand, and then this little bit that comes down, and I'm staying towards the right side, which would be where the light would hit. And you can see where that just makes that tree trunk stand out a little bit. Now that we've got the mitten finished, we can add his little feet. I'm just going to put these are the Hansa yellow, and I'm just going to draw a little line out from the bottom of the leg, so there's some little bird toes hanging over the top of the mitten. The last thing I would do before I start doing the snowflakes and on the background on a design like this is go through and any place that I want to sharpen up edges, say around the stars, I would outline with usually black. So I'm going to take a little black on my liner brush, put it here on the wet palette, add a little bit of water to it because I want it very thin. I want these very fine lines. And I'm running my liner brush through it and twirling it so that the tip of the liner brush comes to a real sharp point. And then I'm going to just, holding the brush very straight, perpendicular to the surface, very lightly outline these stars. And it doesn't have to be a real strong, solid line. It actually looks better sometimes if it's a little broken. You don't want it very heavy. This is just going to crisp the edges of the star up just a little bit. A little closer so you can see that. So here's the top one I've outlined. Just a little more there. I'll do the next one again. Just a little paint with some water mixed in it. I want it very inky. And I'm twirling my brush as I load it so that it comes to a real nice sharp point. And then I'm just working very straight up and down to the surface. So I'm just the bare tip of the brush is touching down. And I'm going to outline star. And we're going to do the third star. Any place else. I think I'll outline the birdhouse. Just come very lightly down the right side of that. Now the left side we can line, but it's all in shadow, so you're really not going to see it too much. If we want to line the division where the two colors come together, can do that. That gives a little more definition to it. And you might want to just do a little squiggly outline around the pom-pom. So I'm very lightly just wiggling the brush back and forth to create a soft squiggly outline around that pom-pom. Outline the star on top of our tree. The only place you'll really see this outline is where it crosses over the letters, but it gives it a little crisper definition. I think I will outline around the hat brim just very lightly. So as you can see, you just barely see the outline. It really just as a hint of definition around the cuffs and maybe just a little around the bottom of the hand, the mitten. So here we are around this cuff. Just very, very lightly around this bottom part of the mitten. Another place on the face that we need a little more definition is the mouth. So I'm going to just very lightly outline right there under that shadow and the little curves on the cheeks. And we can outline the nose, the carrot nose. Nose, I'm going to turn this upside down. I'm actually going to pull some little, like a carrot, you'll notice has like little rings sometimes around it. So I'm just going to pull just some little fine lines from the bottom shadowed area up. You don't want to go over the highlight area. This is just a little bit in the shadowed area. Actually, I feel like those are a little bit too stark, so I'm going to dry brush over them a little bit to soften them down. I'm going to take the number 8 Dome Blender. I'm going to just dry brush a little bit of our orange color that we did the nose back over that. And to do that, I'm going to use a little bit of the red mix, pick up a little bit of the yellow, the Hansa yellow, and get our orange color mix back here. And I'm just going to very lightly soften over that green, over the black lines outlining I did. I might just add a little bit of white. That looks better. So that softens those black outlines. I'm going to do a little bit more outlining on the bird. So again, we're back to the liner brush with a black and a little bit of water to make our inky black paint outline with. Outline the tail feathers just real finely. Little around the body. And then around the bottom and back of the wing. Then you can just outline the right side of those legs a little bit if they get a little too bright. A little bit on the right side of the feet. That just gives him a little bit more shadow so you can see where the feet are. I think we've pretty much got all of our snowman painted and ready to go. I'll zoom out here again.